and his satanic assistant, Alex Montini, both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around this wild, wacky, and sometimes disturbing world of ours. Yes, that's the intro to the Mindset Podcast, a weekly attempt to open eyes and shedding light on what's really going on in the world, all done by ripping apart the media madness that masquerades as news. Join me, Gareth Davis, every Sunday on the Mindset Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting services such as iTunes, Stitcher, and so on. Or you can go directly to the main Mindset website. That's www.mindsetcentral.com. Check out the Mindset Podcast. Bring your curiosity, your opinions, and a sense of humor. And remember that some worldviews are stranger than others.
One. Evening, folks. We're doing a special
Hey.
live on location.
I'm not used to doing this. Wait a sec. Where's the music? Was there no music played?
There was music playing when I had the intro page going.
I didn't hear it. How come?
You'd have to log into YouTube. You won't hear it on.
I am.
You should be able to hear us now.
I can hear us.
Oh well.
How's it going?
Pretty good. You?
Yeah, good. Have a good New Year?
Yeah, not too bad. Just quiet. Stayed home, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, getting old. I nearly passed out before midnight.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, God.
You know that's a sign of you getting old when.
You know what? It hasn't felt like Christmas or New Year's this year at all.
I know. I agree.
With obviously what's going on, and rightly so. But I guess you just try to follow the rules, if you will.
Yeah.
Make everyone happy. Fall in place. Become a part of the cattle.
Yeah. Follow the herd.
Follow the herd. Yeah. It's been an interesting holiday. Quiet, but it's been pretty good. I mean, can't complain. I mean, it's at least we were able to celebrate somewhat.
Yeah.
It's not like having, the special COVID police knocking down your door and say, "Hey, 6 feet apart."
Yeah.
Unlike, I don't know. Did you see Nathan Phillips Square last night?
I did not. No. I didn't tune into TV to watch. I wasn't watching TV last night. I was watching YouTube videos last night. But close to midnight, that's when I tuned into the Channel 7, which we're doing the one from Times Square in New York. So
yeah, I mean, I threw that on about 5 minutes before they dropped the ball.
Yeah,
and it just amazes me. There seem to be quite a few people down there too. Like whatever. I just really just don't want to get into it because the sheer stupidity of it all.
Oh yeah, I know.
Whatever. There's no virus.
There is no virus.
It doesn't exist.
That's right.
What? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, so we're doing a special live bonus show, obviously, as you can tell. It's not our regularly slotted time, and we're only doing this on the YouTube channel. So it's just us hanging out, shooting the shit, basically.
And people go, Friday night? What are you doing it on a Friday night for? Why aren't you doing something else? Like what?
Exactly. There's nothing we can do. That's why we're doing this.
I mean, I do have the necessities here, like you do.
So do I. There we go.
And I shout out to Bebo and Chris there, Third Moon. I'm not drinking it, sorry, but Chris is. Alex is.
Right here.
Triple Bone Tree.
There we go.
Triple Bone Tree.
It's the last one. I'm going to have to get Bebo to send me some.
Well, I don't know if they have any more either. I think they're totally sold out. I think that's it, buddy.
Oh, man.
Until they brew it again. Hopefully they will brew it again. It'd be a nice treat if they did. Given the reaction they've had from it, people love it. I mean, I you know what? It's one of the highlights for me this year. I absolutely loved it.
I don't mind it either. It's pretty good.
And like you said, you're not a big IPA guy. I mean, it's a triple IPA, so it's 3 times.
Right.
10.5.
It is, right. But I mean, it's typically with a lot of the IPAs I've tried, and I haven't tried all of them, mind you, but nevertheless, a lot of them are very hoppy, and I'm not a fan of that. This one, you could taste it, but it's not too bad.
Well, the hoppy sort of grassy, resiny sort of hoppiness, bitterness you're talking about is I don't want to say it's a thing of the past, but a lot of the IPAs out there now are basically they're called juice bombs or haze And basically, when you're drinking them, they're using hops that are more citrusy and tropical in flavor, and have a more of a dankness, bitterness than a resiny, grassy sort of resin. So I mean, like, you know, you don't really get, like, the IBUs are very low in a lot of them now. So I mean, you're not getting a lot of that hoppy bitterness anymore.
That's good. No, that's good
No.
because that was one of the things that turned me off IPAs, right?
Yeah.
So
Like I said, a lot of them sometimes you're like, when I said juice bombs, they are fucking juicy, man. Honestly, it's at times you're drinking fucking orange juice.
yeah, nice. Until you fucking get drunk.
Well, yeah, it's insane. Hey, Gareth, how are you? It's good to see you, Gareth. You know, yeah. So enough of the beer. I mean, you're making me thirsty here. Oh, hold on.
Don't make me play the sound effects.
No, don't. not yet. Anyways.
Yeah, not yet. Once we're halfway drunk,
you can do it. Yeah. So, I had a little bit of a weird experience today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to, unfortunately, on the Face or Messenger, FaceTime, whatever the frig it's called.
Yeah.
I couldn't zoom into the what I was trying to show you, but I put together the the clips that I collected while watching this. A really weird drone.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And it's funny. My wife and I were out having a walk, and we're basically walking around the perimeter of where the Woodlot is.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Hey, what's that? And is that a drone?" And I'm like, looking, where? I don't see. I don't. And she's pointing over there. I take a look, and that is one weird. At first, I didn't think it was a drone. I'm like, maybe it's just in the distance. It's just hanging around there. Maybe it's a helicopter, traffic helicopter or something.
Yeah.
And as we got closer and closer to the cell tower, I'm like, that's a drone, man. That's a really big drone. And it was hovering, not stationary, but it was hovering in and around the general same area.
Yeah.
And then it kept inching closer to the cell tower, and it was around the cell tower for a while. And it was really weird. I'm thinking to myself, okay, do you see anyone? Like, I'm looking around for who could be, if it is a drone, then who's controlling it? I don't see anybody in the immediate area. There was a guy at this. There's a school just down the road. We passed by, and it wasn't him, because he was doing something else. And I'm like, what the hell? This is just absolutely crazy. My ears itchy again. I hate this. I'm watching this thing. We're watching this thing, and like I said, I'm videotaping it, and I tried to get a hold of Patrick, because Patrick's a drone guy.
Yeah.
And okay, tell me, what the hell is this thing, man? But I couldn't get a hold of him, so I shot you a video call and showed you, and of course you could see it, but not very good at.
No, it was like a dot.
Yeah.
Right. And I saw the video that you posted on Vimeo. And you're right. It does look like a high-end drone.
Oh, absolutely. It had at least 4 propellers. It had heavy-duty lighting. The lights were very bright, and it had red lighting on it, and white lighting in the front propellers. And like I said, it just hung around there. It was odd, like it was surveying or something along those lines. There was something in that area that I was looking at, or it very odd. And like I said, if it was an ordinary drone enthusiast, if you will, because that area you can fly drones. It's a drone. You're allowed to. because there's that drone map out there that shows you areas where you're allowed to fly them or whatever. That particular area you're allowed to fly the drones, and I'm like, it just any ordinary guy or drone owner or whatever, I don't think they would be hovering around that air like an area for that amount of time.
Well, yeah, unless they were looking for something specific.
Yeah, and I'm like, what though? You know what? Are they looking at the cell tower? I don't know. It just seemed very. It's not that like they're very close to the cell tower for a long duration of time.
Yeah,
it wasn't. And then as we were talking, video chatting, it took off, and you saw it took off, right?
Yeah, it was going pretty fast actually.
It fucking booted it, right?
Yeah.
So we're watching it to see if it's okay. Is it going towards that parking lot where we saw that guy? Flew right by the school, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, whoever is controlling this, this thing has really good distance.
Yeah.
Because it was over at least a kilometer.
Yeah.
That thing flew and fast.
Yeah, no, I saw it zip when we were video chatting. I saw it zip by like that. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was really fast. So I'm like, okay, this just odd, just really odd. Who the hell knows?
Yeah,
just odd. I'm sure there's a perfectly explainable sort of thing behind it, but just what is it? Is it somebody surveying? The land maybe.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It could be. It also could be independent film. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like they could be taking drone footage for independent film.
That I guaranteed that drone would probably have to be at least 10 grand or more.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of hesitant to say that, because it's not a cheap drone.
It's not. No, God, no. It was not a cheap drone. It's a damn high end one. It was rather large too. I mean, this thing when it was sitting in the sky, that's a big drone, man. Somebody's got a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like looking all over the place. Okay, where's the guy controlling it? Couldn't find nobody.
Did you end up seeing where it went eventually?
No, because it went so fast in that one direction towards the school. So towards the west, It went right by the school and completely disappeared in the distance. So it went much further than the school, and from where we were, we had basically turned around the bend. We were probably roughly about a kilometer and a bit before that thing disappeared. So, I mean, that had a lot of range.
Yeah.
It had a really good range to it.
That's weird. It's weird how, I mean, I can understand maybe if it was summertime but even then, I mean, because it was over a field, right?
Yeah.
A field that gets obviously, and I don't know about the north section from the woodlot. Is that also a field where they plant crop?
Right? A cornfield, yeah.
Okay, so in a sense,
the woodlot is completely surrounded by
cornfield, right? Okay,
right, except for that other woodlot area,
right? Okay,
but yeah.
So, and I'm hesitant to kind of say this because I know, I mean, what's a farmer going to do with a $10,000+ drone, right? And what I was trying to say is that if it was summertime, maybe there was flying the drone around to see how the crop is doing for whatever reason. But again, it's too expensive of a piece of equipment for that kind of stuff. Whereas even the one that Patrick used would have been sufficient. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I mean, I don't think they'd be too worried about crops right now. I mean, there has been some, and I've witnessed it too. There has been some people going into the fields and dropping and picking soybeans.
Yes.
I mean, you witnessed it. You saw all the soybeans that somebody scattered along in the one field.
Yeah, exactly. It was scattered all over the place.
Exactly. I mean, maybe they're kind of worried about that because I know for a fact that soybeans will it'll kill the soil.
Hmm.
Now, after I think 5 plants and that's it, 5 years and that's it, and it kills. So, I last year they didn't plant corn, probably most likely because of COVID. I don't know. Um, but who's to say they won't do it this year? I don't know. Who knows?
So they didn't plant anything in the summertime?
No, nothing this year. Nothing.
Because I know around my area, it's a lot of farmers around where I live plant corn, and they were in full swing.
Yeah, no, this year, no, there was nothing. I mean, the only thing that they did out there was they were clearing a lot of the land. They were clearing a lot of trees, which kind of sucked because there's some really nice trees.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it just didn't make any sense why they would clear the trees, like chop them down and clear them.
So do you think possibly this is a scenario where this drone is being used by maybe the city of where you live in to survey the land for potential development?
It could be. I mean, there's lots of rumors about the place, and I know there's no immediate, I guess, plans for them to sell it to anybody, as far as I know. I know somebody had asked the city what the owners had planned to do with it, and because of all the construction, like the bulldozers and shit, cranes that were in there, I think maybe was it May, June?
Okay.
May or June, and they're basically plowing the land, and like I told you, they're cutting down the trees, bulldozing the trees down, and getting rid of a lot of that shit. And basically, their explanation was for better use of the land. And I'm like, I don't get it. Why? I don't get why you'd kill the trees. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
There's the trees had no bearing on the land itself. It just made no sense.
So it looks like we're going to have to finish the documentary before they tear down all that woodlot.
Well, I think the woodlot, I think they're trying to save that woodlot. Even if there is development, I don't think they want that particular woodlot is going to be torn down, but
You never know.
you never know.
Yeah.
It's kind of saved on the one side because of the school, but on the other side, who knows? I really don't know. Industry could be, I don't know. I mean, there's empty scenarios on the other side of the road that they can fill first, but who the hell knows? No,
Exactly.
I know there was a proposal at one point where the city was thinking about opening up an entertainment sort of a huge entertainment place sort of thing, much like what were they talking about? I don't know. Just a huge like area that they could like have this huge entertainment. I don't know what it was supposed to be. And that was a proposal by one of the guys running for councillor, but I think that's been quickly kiboshed. I don't think that people out here want that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can only go so far when it comes to development, right? I mean, at some point you have to kind of step back and saying, okay, where do we draw the line, right?
Yeah.
Because it's when you overdevelop, especially what this pandemic has taught us is that we don't need to be in an office environment to work for a majority of the roles. Not so much what you do, Steve, but for what I do, for example, I'm perfectly capable of doing what I'm doing from home just as well as doing it from the office. So a lot of businesses, especially medium and small businesses, are going to rethink about why am I going to pay rent for such a big office space when I could rent a much smaller one, have a minimal staff in, and the rest can work from home.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's part and parcel for that area. It's just weird.
Yeah. But let's bring up the let's talk a little bit about that monolith that landed in Toronto. and how it got desecrated.
So in Etobicoke, I don't know exactly where in Etobicoke, but
Well, it's by the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A monolith. I mean, they've been popping up all over the place, and now just recently in Etobicoke. And it just, again, it was leave it to Toronto or whatever for it to be desecrated,
Vandalized.
Vandalized.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it was cleaned up by something called Friends of the Monoliths.
Oh God. Jesus.
I don't know.
Friends of the Monolith.
Friends of the Monoliths.
But
I mean,
for those people who don't know, Etobicoke is part of Toronto, the city of Toronto. Just so you're aware.
it's where Doug Ford's from.
That's right.
Was it Doug Ford that planted that monolith?
It's quite possible.
Or do you think he vandalized it?
No, he probably hired somebody to do it.
The ghost of Rob Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, what's the deal with these monoliths?
They're popping up everywhere.
Huh?
I said they're popping up everywhere.
Yeah, and again, we have to look at the way things are, I guess, right now. I mean, anything. It just amazes me, to see how people are dealing with this pandemic and these lockdowns and everything else.
Yeah.
Things that people will do to entertain themselves.
Oh, for sure.
It's just incredible. You just have to watch TikTok, for crying out loud.
I don't have TikTok. I got rid of it.
It's some of the stuff on there. I'm like,
that's why I got rid of it.
What? Oh man.
My wife is still on it, but I refuse to go on it. It's just, you know what? There's only so much level of stupidity I can handle, and there's plenty of that to go around this year, or past year, and probably going forward. I don't need to add to it by going on TikTok.
But why?
I can't handle it. I'm gonna be drinking a lot more of these.
There's plenty of stupidity on here on YouTube as well.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
There's stupidity everywhere.
Oh yeah. No, you can't escape it. Life in the stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
this is all I gotta say to stupidity.
Ow! Shit! Oh, that hurt.
Oh, come on. You're not calling Gord stupid now, are you?
No.
Oh.
I'm not calling him stupid. I'm just saying
I know.
This is how I feel about some people.
Ow! Shit! Oh,
That's classic Gord, man. Classic Gord.
Classic. It's funny, that coming from the Woodlot doc, but I've been really thinking about that mound we found. I really have been.
Yeah, I know.
And the possibility, like I said, it just, I watched the video footage that we shot, and just looking at it. Of course, you can't really get much from the video, but it's very odd, simply because of the distance that it is from the line, the forest line.
Right.
And again, like, it's a common thing to see a mound of rocks close to
the tree line.
An area where a farmer has cleared the land to plant crops.
Right.
But this particular mound was quite a distance in.
Yeah, I'd say it was at least minimum of 25 feet into the forest itself.
Oh, probably a lot more than that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't exactly take the stepping measurements, but I mean, it was at minimum or at least 25 feet from the tree line end or beginning, whichever way you want to look at it.
And of course, things are frozen right now, and there's not much. I'm seriously kind of looking forward to maybe going out there and maybe exploring that a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, if we want to explore the mound itself, we're gonna have to probably wait until springtime or
Oh yeah,
mid to late
yeah.
spring when the ground starts to thaw.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a project for later on in the year. I get that. Um, and of course, it'll give us time to sort of think a little bit more about content for the documentary as well. We've got content, but we don't have content filler. Like, I'd really like to get more conversations with you guys about your overall feelings. Yeah, we do that. Okay, yeah. So what'd you think about tonight, sort of thing? I mean, overall,
Yeah.
and sort of, we're gonna have to do commentary as to how it's laid out. And of course, when it's laid out the way it is, how I'm gonna lay it out, I'm gonna have to go over with you guys and say, hey, look it, um, I need you guys to like sort of lay down some audio for this kind of for that as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously going to come down the road when we're totally finished.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting documentary. I mean, it was shaping up to be an interesting Nocturnal Night Shots 3 until we decided to turn it into a documentary.
Yeah, I mean, all because of a little report. I mean, I've always been intrigued with that area ever since I've moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was more intrigued with that area when before the school was built, but never really had a chance to go in there. I did explore more along the creek area, but never the Woodlot area until I think it was maybe 2 years ago when I had a randonaut.
Right.
I had a randonaut spot in that particular forest. And, I was in there and I'm like, there's something about this place it's just very odd.
And that was the one where you said you saw a whole bunch of tires, right?
There was a mound of old tires.
Right.
And no longer there.
So they
they're
cleaned out the
in
tires,
that particular area, and they're not there anymore. I could be wrong. It could be at the where we found the little reservoir, the little pond area.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be at the end in the front corner of that one. It could be there. I could have been mistaken thinking it was that one, because I have been, since I had that randonaut, explored little bits and pieces of that the forest, because like I said, before they cleared the land,
Mm-hmm.
there was remnants of a home or something, a business in the field, all scattered all over the place. And of course, that's all been cleaned up now. So I'm like, okay, so what are the possibilities of finding something in this forest? And of course, there, just not looking, not sort of tracking the whole circumference of the forest, but just little bits of pieces and pockets of it.
Yep.
Because it's consuming. I mean, it's not small, it's not big, but it's got there's a lot of coverage there. And I actually had another randonaut. Actually, I think one of the first randonauts I had was in the field, but over more in between the two woodlots.
Okay. Yeah.
It was in between. And I think that was one of the very first randonaut points that I ever had, I believe.
Yeah, mine kept going to people's backyards. Fucking annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah, I know. Well, look at me. After a while, I kept getting water.
Yeah, exactly.
Kept pointing me towards Lake Ontario. I'm like, okay.
I don't have
can't go
scuba
into-
gear.
Yeah, I don't have scuba gear.
Yeah. But we definitely got to try out some more randonauting this spring and summer.
I don't know.
I'll give it a shot. I'll see what happens.
I'm kind of still intrigued with it. I'm not though. I think I don't know. It's tough to say. Hey, Casual, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the beginning, I kind of liked it. I thought I liked how it was kind of mysterious, if you will.
Yeah. It's turned into something typical now.
Well, yeah, and with COVID limiting things, it's become a little bigger than it was. In the beginning, I got to thank Fred Anderson, good friend Fred Anderson in Sweden there for he's been on the show. You remember Fred?
Yep.
Super nice guy. He's the one who got me, intrigued with this whole random thing. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he was posting pictures of these really intriguing areas on his Twitter.
Yep.
And I'm like, where are you finding these places? These are awesome. And of course, Sweden. Come on, look at Sweden is old world.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of Viking, a lot of all this kind of historical aspects laying around there. And he was finding all this shit. And I'm like, how are you finding all this stuff? Oh, it's called Randonaut. Randonaut, what the hell is that? And he pointed me in the direction of where to find this all this stuff. And watching some guy's video, I forget the guy's name now. I'm watching. He has a YouTube channel. I can't remember the guy's name, but anyways, Tommy something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I forgot his last name, but it is Tommy.
Tommy, yeah, and he did a really cool video on his little experience.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a short break here.
Mm-hmm.
Got to refill.
Got to refill and empty out.
Don't go anywhere. We're having fun.
Yes.
Thanks
It's a holiday
for joining us,
special.
And we've got a lot to chat about. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few seconds, a few minutes.
Yes. See you soon.
All right.
Ow! Shit! Oh, that hurt. That was not paranormal. It sucked.
sounded like a scream.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that.
The house was out. You hear that? Guys, over here. Again, that wailing noise. Look, what's that? What's that? There was something fucking moving over there. You see that? You saw that, right?
Is that white?
It was fucking white.
And we're back. We're live.
I don't see ya.
It's okay. You don't need to see me. As long as everybody else can see me, that's all that matters.
Alex, you there? I don't hear you. I don't see you. Where are you? So yeah, we were talking about the Woodlot.
Woodlot.
Before we went for break.
Well, we were actually talking about the Monolith before we went to the break.
No, the Monolith was way before.
Was it?
Where the hell have you been?
That beer's taking effect on me already.
Well, it's 10.5. I don't, no wonder why.
Here, Gareth,
why.
you saw this, right? There we go.
He's seen that a million
Oh,
times.
yeah, I'm showing it to him again. I'm making him jealous.
Well, here, look it. For crying out loud. I know, look it. Gareth is watching. Hey, Gareth, how about this stuff? Hey, look at that.
Oh, you got to move it a little bit. There you go. It's called a devil sauce. Devil.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's making me jealous. Yeah, so anyways, originally it was going to be Nocturnal Night Shots 3.
Yeah.
The third episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is officially become I mean there's so much going on that we have to make it into a documentary. It's a full-fledged documentary now.
Yep.
So now we've got more time. It's gonna take a little bit more time to get it ready. Plus, with the last visitation, the last time out shooting and everything else, collecting audio, we made another discovery.
And purely by chance.
Purely because I was going in the wrong direction.
That's right. And it's a good thing you did go in the wrong direction.
We're going this way. This is the right way. No, I think you guys. I know you guys kept telling me. No, I think you're going towards the school. No. We're going the right way. Yeah, we're going towards the school.
Yeah, we are.
But you know what? It turned out exactly. It turned out to be a blessing.
That's right.
Because we wouldn't have stumbled. Well, we might have eventually, but we didn't stumble If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have stumbled upon the mound.
That's right.
Now, the mound itself, it could be nothing. It could be a shitload of stuff. We don't know. Can it be? Is there a link towards a bone that we found?
And that's just it. And the one thing that I think it was Gord that pointed it out, if I'm not mistaken, how there was sort of like no vegetation on top of the mound, just surrounding the mound. There was like the little young trees.
That's the thing that kind of got to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I don't know why.
Feedback from what?
I don't know. I'm talking. I hear a little bit of. Okay, I'm okay now. But anyways, I think from every like mound that I've seen, there hasn't been any vegetation on the mound itself. It's just been rocks and dirt.
Right. And that's primarily the reason why. So it's one of two things there. It's either rocks or something else.
But I mean, it's the young trees that make me even more curious.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's the first time I've seen that. I have not seen young trees growing around it like this particular area. We got to get a good photo of it to sort of give people an idea. I mean, the video that we captured doesn't do it justice.
Right. Exactly. And it's going to have to be during the daytime so you could see it a bit better too, right?
Well, yeah, it'll be during the daytime. We're going to have to, well, it's, let's face it, this time of the year, it gets dark early, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
When does it start to get dark later?
You're going to notice a difference, a significant difference, I'd say, towards middle of February. That's when you're going to start noticing because the downside to winter here, obviously, is that a lot of the days it's overcast as well. So even when it does stay light later, it's very, it's not noticeable because of all the overcast days. So when you get to about mid-February, give or take, is when you're going to start seeing a significant difference in daylight. I'd say close to an hour, maybe 40 minutes or so of additional daylight.
Okay, Professor Alex.
Mm-hmm. It's not just the beer talking.
It's not just the beer. What do you got now?
That's the same beer.
Yeah.
I'm nursing it.
What do you got on tap?
No, I got nothing on tap. I'm going to have to go grab some.
Oh, for crying out loud. I thought that's why we took a break. So
I took a break because I had to relieve myself.
Oh, that
comes with the territory when you're drinking beer.
I don't have that problem.
What do you have, a catheter?
I used to.
Oh, there you go.
No. But anyways, yeah. So the overall product, the overall documentary, the finished product, now will probably be ready probably the fall of next year.
Yeah, I would say so, because we still got a lot of taping to do, as far as, like you said, like having all of us give a sort of synopsis of all the times we've been there and what we felt and what we thought about the place.
You got to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, when the structure of the documentary's worked out, that's when we're going to have to put the fillers in and have you guys talk a little bit more about what you experience, and we'll eventually get Patrick to get in front of the camera. I don't think we will, but we'll try.
You have to bribe him.
No. Well, it's funny because I mean, they're like I said, Patrick. So tell us a little bit about your experience. What experience? Yeah, I saw a face. Yeah, face. Yeah, face.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like, Patrick.
Expand a little. Make something up at least.
It's like watching William Shatner in Star Trek.
Oh, God.
You're killing me here. You're killing me here. Help me. Expand a little bit.
Yeah.
What?
So Gareth said to wear diapers during the show so you don't have to go to the washroom.
There you go. I mean, they do it at the casinos.
This is true.
When they're open.
That's right. When they're open.
Casinos, they wear the diapers, and yeah, you experience the pool. If you happen to sit down on the friggin' seat after they sit down there for like 8 hours, 12 hours straight, there's a nice pool waiting for you, nice and warm.
That's just lovely.
Hey, you could win millions of dollars. You could win thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. You never know for sitting in that warm pool. Oh, God. Yeah. So, yeah, the Woodlot. What else? What else is there? Come on. We're drying up here.
Oh, well, come on. We could talk about anything.
Well, you tell me.
Let's talk about...
This is a special holiday bonus show, and what's so special about it?
We are. We're the reason why it's special.
We are family.
We could talk about Poltergeist.
Oh, God.
Really? I'm just throwing suggestions out there. I'm not saying we have to.
Well, let's talk about, if we're going to talk about the paranormal, if you will. I was kicked out of a group, by the way. I have to.
Oh, God. You almost made me choke on that beer.
Facebook, huh?
You almost made me choke on my beer.
A Facebook group, and literally, and I wasn't the only person that got kicked out of this, because it's funny. I made a comment saying, because somebody had posted something about a picture, and that they were seeing a face in the picture, and some woman goes, I'm about to bid this group adieu. It's the same shit over and over. I see nothing. There is nothing there. You're seeing things, right? Mm-hmm. And I made the comment saying, I totally agree. I'm right behind you, about to go out the door. And sure as shit, I went out the door. But it drives me nuts. And I get the monitors of the moderators, whatever, the monitors of the group have to do their job, whatever. But it drives me nuts when people will post something and they're looking for an explanation. When you give them the explanation, you're a villain.
Well, because they're not given the explanation that they're looking for.
No, it's not necessarily the person who posted it. It's the people around in the group. Oh yeah, what are you telling them? Why are you taking away the fun of them posting a picture in here? Why are you abusing them? Why are you doing this to them? No, I'm telling them what it most likely is.
That's right.
Where you are, you're fanning on the fire. Oh yeah, I do see a face there. Yeah, I think it's Marilyn Monroe. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. And when you try to be as informative as possible with people who are looking for some answers, because let's face it, we don't have answers.
No. You have speculation.
But there's rationality here. And when you try to be rational with people with a lot of this stuff, let me say, a lot of the stuff that people post picture-wise, especially picture-wise, is very explainable. 99.9% is very explainable.
Yeah.
And when you give them that explanation, they most likely accept it. But it's the people who in that group that chime in and go, "You're a non-believer. Get the hell out of this group. Why are you bothering with this group? If you don't believe in the paranormal, get the fuck out of here." It's what? Seriously. Go on and believe that anything is a ghost. By all means, be a fucking idiot.
Well,
I don't care.
It's like that post I put on the messenger group today from the group. Remember that what I posted?
I saw
the
that,
screenshot. Yeah, exactly. And I go, this is what you and Gord are missing out on because I'm not. Because
it's not the only thing, right? It's not the only thing.
I'm still part of that group because I don't pipe up like Gordon and Steve.
You sit on the sidelines.
I sit on the sidelines and I read and laugh and now I can take screenshots and fill you guys in.
but it just I was pretty much to the point where I was looking. I'm just going to leave this group anyways. It's pointless.
It is.
You can say whatever the hell you want. You have too many idiots.
Yeah.
Way too many idiots fanning the fire.
Don't get me started on the idiots.
And of course, Gord was the first one to figure that one out. Took me a little longer, but whatever.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, right?
Be shown the door.
Yeah. Shout out to Ron in the group. In the chat there. He said, thumbs up the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the little bell notification so that you get notified whenever we go live.
Ron, when are you going to send us some music to play on the show?
Yeah. Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, we wouldn't do that.
No, not at all.
But I'm sure he's used to that. He knows how we are, right?
Yep.
No, Ron, thank you for the support. We absolutely appreciate you tuning in or watching us on a regular basis. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you and of course, hope you like the t-shirt. Oh,
exactly.
Speaking of, did you take down the double-sided shirt?
I'm going to have to do that. I completely forgot about it, so I'm going to have to do that today.
It's now gone. It's a thing of the past, folks. The double-sided t-shirt is now gone.
Yep.
It's now gone. It's gone forever. If you don't have one, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just, what are we gonna do? We need a new t-shirt.
I think we do, yeah.
To replace it, but that will come within time. In the meantime, you can still get a regular logo t-shirt, masks, hoodies, zip down. What else?
Pullover, hoodies, and zip down as well. The mug.
The mug.
Yep.
If you're a coffee lover, you love having your coffee the first thing in the morning, there you go. Get a Nocturnal Frequency mug.
Or you could use it for liquor and just hide it in a mug, pretending it's coffee.
You could do that too. I mean, there's a lot of people like doing that. Have you ever, I don't know. I know somebody does this, but have you ever tried tomato juice with beer?
No, I can't say that I have.
I've never tried that, but somebody swears by it. They will actually add tomato juice to their beer.
That sounds disgusting.
You got me. I would never try it, but I mean, whatever. To each their own. But
I guess, yeah.
Tomato juice with beer. It's like putting mayonnaise in your 40 Creek.
Oh, fuck. What the hell, man? That's like floaties, man.
What about the cupcake prank?
The cupcake prank?
Yeah. You watched that video, didn't you?
I don't think I have.
What?
No,
What's wrong with you?
apparently a lot.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so anyways, let's stick to the paranormal program.
So
I mean,
just
this is
just
a
to
paranormal program.
just to verify that the two-sided T-shirt is officially gone.
You spent that time taking care of that?
I did, yes, because I completely forgot about it. But it's
That's
gone
too
now.
bad. I have my double-sided. Do you have your double-sided?
Of course, I have my double-sided.
What else did we have double-sided? It was just the T-shirt,
That
right?
and the mug.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
The mug still got the double side, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we'll keep that one up for now.
Yeah.
But no longer can you get a double-sided T-shirt. That's
right.
Limited and gone.
It is. Maybe, I was going to say it's too bad they don't have any. Actually, I'll have to look to see what other stuff they have, because I know that they have phone cases. I don't know if you want to go down that route, but anyway, let's talk about.
I don't know.
Let's talk about paranormal stuff.
I don't know about the phone cases.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility, but whatever. Go down the paranormal route.
Yeah. Let's talk about haunted purses.
It's funny. I was playing the clip for a coworker. Oh, speaking of, I must say, last Sunday night, 4 or 5 of my coworkers tuned into the show.
Awesome. What did they think?
Yeah. They absolutely love the show.
Awesome. So I guess we have some more regular listeners coming aboard.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully. That's
Yeah.
cool. In fact, one of them gave us a shout out in the chat.
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find out which one it was?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So that's cool.
Yeah.
What else? Where were we going before that?
I don't know. We were talking about a whole bunch of stuff. It's a mystery.
Yeah,
It's a mishmash. It's a bonus show, so we can talk whatever we want.
It's a bonus show.
Yeah. There's no set guideline today. No specific topic. Anything goes. So if anybody in the chat wants to talk about anything, just post it in chat.
Well, let's sort of prop it up a little bit. Okay. If anyone would like to call into the show, you can.
I know Gareth suggested if you need a guest.
Well, we have a number to call. If you would like to call, 716-406-4472 is the number to call. If you have a story that you'd like to relate on the show, or if you have some sort of comments, it may be good or bad, I'm sure we can handle it, and I'm sure we'll make sure we have our diapers just in case.
Yeah.
Once again, the number is 716-406-4472. If you have a story you'd like to share with us on the show here this evening, then by all means, please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
If we don't wear our diapers, this is what happens.
Yeah. One more time, that number is 716-406-4472.
And the switchboard is lit up.
What switchboard? Do you have a switchboard?
No. I don't have a switchboard.
Wow. Okay. So, anyways, talking about the paranormal, not so much the paranormal. I know you're a big vampire guy.
Enough, yeah.
No, not enough. I know you're a big vampire guy.
I am a vampire, sure.
Sure, if you want to be a vampire. Okay, so what, let's get down to this. Why are you intrigued with the vampire culture?
It's sort of that mysterious mystique around it. Like, here's the problem I have lately with the vampire movies and shows that they've done as of late. They made them too fucked up.
Well, that says a lot.
Well, like the Twilight series. Twilight series, where they go in the daylight and they sparkle.
Well, you know what? You're gonna get that with any fucking
I was
genre. If you will, they have to pretty shit up. Come
Yeah.
on, seriously.
The thing I've noticed with vampires, and I can't say this for other genres, it's probably the same with some other genres as well, but vampires specifically, it's like an ebb and flow. So you have, a peak where it gets to, a peak popularity, and then it just sort of drops into kind of obscurity, and then it comes back up, right?
Peak? You like that peak?
Peak right here.
Peak. Hey, the peak?
That's right. The peak right up here.
Alex, I'm peaking.
You're peaking, all right. Yeah. So I've noticed that it's starting to head back up, right? And the only
peaking
it's starting to peak. It's starting to climb.
It's
climb
climbing.
up. And one of the reasons why I say this is because I belong to this.
Climaxing.
It's climaxing. It's
okay.
It's about to squirt.
Oh,
there you go. See?
Now we're gonna be banned from YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna be banned now. No, we'll be banned if I play some of the sound clips I have on my board. But
okay, so go on.
So because I belong to this vampire group on Facebook called the Vampire's Throne, and I've noticed that in a recent month and a half, if not maybe a couple more, the membership has spiked.
Oh, there's that word, spiked.
Exactly. Spiked. Right? So anyway, part of the reason why I can't really explain exactly why I have a fascination with vampires. I just do. I just like the sort of idea of it.
Let me ask you, okay? Yeah. Where did you find this happening? When did you find this happening? When did you find yourself gravitating to the interest in vampires?
It was in my early to mid 20s, I would say. It's when I started reading. Actually, no, it was even earlier than that, to be honest with you. So back towards the end of high school, so I was latter teen years. I had a friend who was your typical vampire fanatic. He had the long dark hair, slicked back, that kind of stuff, and he turned me on to this author. Called Michael Romke, who wrote a series, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the way he wrote his series was more like a diary style sort of writing. It wasn't just like a regular novel. So it was basically telling the story of the main protagonist from his own words, basically. Like he was basically saying, this is what happened to me. And it was written in a diary style. And I thought it was kind of intriguing. And that's what kind of drew me into the sort of like the vampire lore. And then, I move on to other authors, one out of the UK, Brian Lumley. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yes.
Quite okay. He wrote it. Yeah. He wrote a great series, the Necroscope series, multiple series. The Necroscope series was book of 5. And then you had the Vampire World series, which was 3 books. And then you had another series beyond that, which is another 3 more books. He wrote a lot of, they were like thick ass books too. But he wrote it sort of differently. He didn't write it in the sort of Hollywood movie type kind of vampire. His take was the vampires sort of originated in a parallel universe, in a parallel world, that it was connected to ours through this wormhole. And they became vampires through a sort of symbiosis with this leech that attached to them, to their sort of like their spine and what have you. And so then, it was sucker. Get it? So
I get it.
Yeah. So it and this leech that sort of bonded to them, or sort of became this sort of symbiosis with them, enhanced their not only strength but their sort of desires. So if someone was like twisted, he'd become this sort of monster that was just did all these horrific things. And if he was someone who was intelligent, he was a scheming sort of, and it was one of those scenarios, right? So he had a completely different take on the vampire thing, and that's what I liked. I've read like Interview with the Vampire, like I'm sure a lot of people have, and it was okay, but I wasn't a fan of it.
I'm not a big fan of Anne Rice shit.
Neither am I.
When it comes to vampirism and vampires and all that, I'm not a big fan of it. I absolutely can't stand that shit.
Well, and I read Interview with a Vampire, and I also read Vampire Lestat, and they were okay. The movie itself was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't anything that sort of, it was mediocre. You know what I mean? I like the darkness aspect of the vampire, the mystique, and Anne Rice and other authors, and I'm not just going to pick on Anne Rice, but other authors as well, romanticize the vampire.
Yeah,
and I don't like
hate
that
it when they do. I can't stand that. It drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah,
and that's like it's like that with a lot of genres when it comes to vampires and so on and so on. I can't stand it.
Nor could I.
I mean, when I sit there and I look at something like Stephen King's Salem's Lot, most people go, fucking Stephen King. Yeah. But you know what? When you watch, what I absolutely loved about the original TV version of Salem's Lot, it was incredible. It actually gave you chills to watch that scene where, the child is being lured out by the vampire. Oh my God.
I read the book. Yeah, it's a pretty good book.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
And that the TV version of the book from the 70s was just absolutely incredible. I don't know if you're familiar with Dan Curtis's Dracula.
I don't think I am, no.
Jack Palance played Dracula. Oh my God. Fucking incredible. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure it was Jack Palance that played it.
So I know Gareth wrote down Ralphie Glick. I don't know if that has any.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're and I look at a movie called Martin. Have you ever seen the movie Martin?
No.
Or sorry, Martin.
Was that Martin?
Is it Martin? Martin or Patrick? Patrick.
Who's Jack Palance?
George A. Romero's Patrick. Not George A. Romero. I'm getting all screwed up here. Martin. I'll let you know. Give me a sec. But go on with your fascination with vampirism.
It's reason why I'm fascinated, and I'm okay. So I'm not talking about historical let me rephrase that. Religious historical vampires, where it's literally the walking undead that are mindless and are just attacking their family to sustain themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the sort of original take on vampires, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that kind of mystique. The vampire is supposed to be a ruthless creature.
Supposed to be.
Right. But also be suave in some sense. Right? And that's what Bram Stoker's Dracula was like.
Okay,
right?
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you can go on.
Have you ever seen, and I was right, I screwed up. Have you ever seen George A. Romero's Martin?
No.
Okay, so basically, George A. Romero's Martin is fantastic. Absolutely fucking love it. 1977 is about a young man who believes himself to be a vampire, goes to live with his elderly and hostile cousin in small town Pennsylvania, where he tries to redeem his blood-craving urges. It's absolutely amazing. Loved it.
Okay.
Dude, if you can track it down, watch it. I mean, I have it, but it's one. I love Romero altogether. It doesn't matter, but this movie was awesome. I really, absolutely loved it. The reason why I'm saying that is because it kind of gives you a sort of a realistic look at a vampire, somebody mentally thinking that they are a vampire, therefore their lifestyle sort of look at, oh my God. And we're talking about Hollywood vampire here.
Yeah.
We're talking about garlic. We're talking about sunlight. Oh my God, can't handle sunlight and all that kind of shit. You know, the aspects that were sort of thrown in there from Hollywood, if you would, years ago.
Yeah, yeah, and I try to stay away from the sort of like the popularized versions of the vampire. Like I said, Michael Romke was not someone who was well known for writing vampire novels, even though a lot of his novels were based on vampires. But he's not Stephen King.
No,
I actually had the pleasure of meeting Michael Romke one-on-one many years ago. My friend.
Did you share your blood?
I did. Yeah, we became blood brothers. No,
Blood brothers.
so if you want, I'll tell you the story. It was myself and my friend Frank, who you met. I used to correspond with Michael Romke via email back in the day. This is before the internet exploded the way it is today. And I had sent him actually a couple of my short stories to read, and he read them, and he said he enjoyed them. Or so he said anyway. And I asked him one day, I go, you know what, if I'm willing to come, because I knew he lived in and around the Chicago area. So I asked him, I go, if I come down there to visit, would you be willing to meet up with me so I can discuss? Because at the time I wanted to write a full length novel, and I still kind of do, but that God knows when that's going to happen. And I asked him, I go, if I come down there, will you be willing to meet with me? Because I'm planning on writing a novel, and it'll be great to sort of bounce ideas off you and get some tips from you. He agreed to it. So he actually lived outside of Chicago, about 2 hours away, or 2 or 3 hours away from Chicago. But he was going to be in Chicago. This was during, I can't remember the exact year, but it was February, is when we went there. So my Frank and I rented a car. We drove to Chicago, stayed at a hotel close to O'Hare Airport, and then met up with him. And we went out and had dinner, which he ended up paying for, which is awesome, right? And
was it deep dish pizza?
No, we didn't have deep dish pizza, but nevertheless, speaking of, here's the funny thing. So Chicago was notorious back in the day for having a lot of Italian mobsters, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, in recent, I don't know how long, but I'd say maybe at least a couple of decades at the very least, there's an influx of Spanish people that live in Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Or at least it seems that way, because when we were there was a lot of Spanish-speaking people. So when we went to this restaurant with Michael Romke, and the waitress was kind of crusty. She had a kind of a crusty attitude.
Crusty.
Right? Crusty attitude. until she found out that both Frank and I were Italian, and then she was like the sweetest thing on earth to us.
Really?
Yeah, because
Really?
I guess she was Italian, and she was one of those old school Italian ladies that's, I guess, so used to not dealing with Italians anymore in Chicago, at least at that part of Chicago, that when she came across someone who was, her attitude did a complete 180 when she found out that Frank and I were Italian. She became the nicest person. It was hilarious. But anyway, we talked with him. We got tips from him, and even he said, when it comes to writing books, he goes, in all honesty, I still have it. He goes, he was an editor of a newspaper. He goes, I still do what I do full time, and this is supplemental. Unless you're at a level like at the time, Anne Rice and Stephen King, it's very difficult to make a living out of it. You should treat it only as a supplementary income to whatever you're doing already, right? So, but it was pretty cool having met up with the guy, and just him agreeing to doing it.
Well, I mean that's the thing about a lot of these people. I mean, there's a lot of them are very down to earth.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more than you think.
Unless you're talking about the people who are high up there, like Stephen King and what have you, right? Because I'm sure those guys get a lot of requests to meet.
Well, yeah.
You know.
I mean, look it. I remember when I was running Cinema Nocturna years
Mhm.
ago, and Cinema Nocturna was a webzine, and I had writers from all over the world writing about movies, interviewing actors, and a lot of them with genre-based films from around the world. And you know, somebody who I idolize, Dario Argento, in a movie called Suspiria. Um, I became regular. I was in regular contact. I actually stumbled upon her website, which was there was next to nothing on her website when I first met, and that's Barbara McNulty, who played Olga in Suspiria. And I said, "Look at hey, how are you? I run this website, webzine, a magazine online. I would love to interview you to talk to you about Suspiria." And she's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely." And she's now living in Los Angeles. She doesn't live in Italy anymore. She's now in Los Angeles. And I'm like, "Wow, great." And I think I interviewed her 4 or 5 times for the webzine over the years. She was pretty much in limbo.
Mm.
Nobody really knew who she was. And then when my interview with her broke, people, oh my God, Olga from Suspiria, and things started to flourish for her on her website. People were asking her to do conventions, to come out and do guest speaking and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Mhm.
I finally, I brought some attention to her. I really absolutely intrigued by this. But yet I had never met her in person. It was always just over the phone. We talked, I don't know, numerous amount of times. And then finally she was doing a convention here run by a friend of mine in Toronto back in, I think it was 2014, 15, 16, I don't know, whatever. And I finally got to meet her, and it was so incredible. It was just, it was like we were old friends.
Mm. Yeah.
In fact, if you see right there, there's a picture of her right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's her right there. And right there.
Yeah.
Both signed by her, thankfully. Um, Incredible woman, incredible lady, and it's good to see that people recognize her now. I'm so glad because she's a lot of people, these smaller actors or actresses, whatever, who play in these classic films that people remember. They remember the movie and they totally forget about the smaller actors in the movie. And look at a lot of these people are struggling,
Yeah.
and people like Barbara will always remember her as Olga in Suspiria, even though she's been in so many other films. She'll always be remembered as Olga, just an example, but with this writer, right?
Yep. Well, yeah, for sure. And I was grateful for him to agree to meet with us because he didn't technically know us from a hole in the wall. I mean, I had corresponded with him via email a couple of times prior to this, but it was definitely a chance for him to meet with myself and Frank, whom, like I said, aside from a couple of emails back and forth,
Yeah.
who knows? It's like how do you know we are who we say we are? But he took that chance, and I'm grateful for it because it was one of those scenarios where I got a chance to meet someone who at the time I idolized, and I still idolize to some extent because he's a great guy. and I had brought all of the books that he had written with me for him to sign. And I even had his very first novel called Fierce Point, which was out of print, had been out of print for many years. Yeah. And when I brought it out for him to sign, he was kind of taken aback with the fact that I had this copy, because he said, "This book's, I can't believe you have this book. It's been out of print for so many years." And he goes, "This is the first novel I ever wrote." And so he signed all of the books with a personal message in each one to me, right? So it was great. It was awesome. And to boot, he even paid for the dinner. You know what I mean? It's like,
wow, that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the idea was, and I had talked this to Frank, before meeting with him. And I go, "Listen, I want to pay for it because he's doing us a favor by meeting with us and sort of giving us this sort of experience, or whatever whatever you want to call it." But he insisted. He wanted to pay for it. He paid for it. He goes, "Listen," he goes to us, he goes, "You guys drove here from Toronto. The least I could do is buy you dinner."
That's a long way.
Exactly. He goes, "The least I could do is buy you dinner." You know what I mean? And he did. He bought us dinner. We spent a few hours with him during, the dinner at the restaurant, and we had a great conversation. And then right after that, Frank and I made our way back to Toronto, right? We drove back that night, and we left the restaurant. It was like 7:30 local time in Chicago, which is an hour behind our time here.
Yeah.
We didn't get back to Toronto until about 5:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
I know what you mean. I remember doing that with Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And driving all the way home. That was insane.
Oh, I can imagine. Jeez.
In Louisville, it was about 11 hours.
Yeah. That's about the same as with Chicago, right?
Yeah. And you got to take into consideration, whatever traffic you might hit, or, construction or whatever. Because, you never know. There's always something going along with one of the highways that you got to travel on to get to point A to point B sort of thing.
And it was funny because as soon as I dropped off Frank, as I dropped him off, and then I came home, went to bed, and the next morning I woke up and there was a snowstorm that basically followed right after us.
So you lucked out.
I completely lucked out because I completely was just literally ahead of the snowstorm, because when I woke up the next day, the rental car was like covered in snow. I was like, I'm grateful we were not caught in that.
How many miles did you put on that car?
Oh, I can't remember. Fuck, it was so long ago.
What kind of car was it?
It was like a Grand Prix.
Oh, well, Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. How long ago was that?
This is a long time ago.
I'd say so.
This was over 20 years ago.
Holy shit.
About 20 years ago, yeah. Maybe not quite so 20 years ago, but around that time frame.
Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah. And we didn't really get a chance to go around Chicago because we were only there for the one night. So here's the funny story. On the way there, you gotta put this in your mental picture. 2 young Italian guys in a rental car going from Toronto to Chicago. When we're at the border, at the Detroit border, the U.S. not customs guy, whatever they're called, the guard, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
He goes, "Show me your IDs," whatever. We show him our driver's license and what have you. And he goes, "Where are you guys going?" We go, "Chicago." "Where are you guys coming from?" "Toronto." "How long are you going to be in Chicago?" I go, "Just overnight." And as soon as I saw him pushing the buzzer, right? He kept pushing the buzzer. He goes, "Okay, pull over." I'm like, "Fuck." Right? We pull over.
Well, yeah. When you say you're going to be there overnight, okay, what are they doing?
Exactly. Right? Exactly. So we see six guys, come out with a dog. And the one guy comes, because I was driving, so he comes to my side. He goes, "Turn the car off, leave the keys in the ignition, pop the hood, pop the trunk, go in the office." I'm like, "Holy shit, okay." So we do all that, and we go inside the office, and both Frank and I are looking at each other because we see a couple of guys sitting down there that look like had been there for days. Okay, so we're like, "Shit, we're screwed." Right? I go. Yeah. So we give the guy our driver's license. He asked us first of all, before we even left the car, he asked us what we had in the trunk, and we told him. I told him exactly what we had. I go, we had, a change of clothes. I have some books in there. I have my laptop. I go, because we wanted to interview somebody. We're going there to interview somebody. And anyway, I guess, the dogs didn't smell anything. They look in the trunk and they see exactly what we told them. So we were actually only there for like 20 minutes.
I got some extra oregano.
Yeah, I got some. What year Grand Prix, Ron asks? I can't remember. Jeez. You're asking me to remember something from almost 20 years ago.
I remember showing up at a buddy's place, and I told him I had a gram of pot. And it was oregano. He didn't know the difference. He fucking rolled it and started smoking it. He's
Lovely.
like, what the fuck is this shit, man?
I bet you his breath smelled a little bit better.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
But yeah, well, it's funny because I remember when we were going down to Louisville, Kentucky to investigate the Waverly Hills Sanitarium.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And I remember the guys had never traveled across the border before. And I've been over the border several times, many times. And and we were going through the Windsor-Detroit border.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And before we got to the border, I said, look, guys, be prepared. We've got all this equipment on here. They might pull us over and want to, inspect the equipment that we're bringing over because we got infrared shit here and all sorts of stuff. They might think we're up to something. I had them fucking paranoid as hell.
I can imagine.
So we get to the border, pull up to the customs, and all of a sudden you got this big burly guy going, where are you guys from? Canada, citizenship Canada. Where are you going? Louisville, Kentucky. What are you doing there? Why are you going? Ghost hunt. That's what I said. Ghost hunt.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he double takes. Pardon me? Ghost hunt. You make money doing that? No, I it would be nice to make money, but no. You're going over to Louisville, Kentucky, all the way down there for a long weekend to ghost hunt in a mental institution? Because we told them we're going to Waverly Hills Sanitarium.
Yep.
Seriously. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. See you later. Have a good time.
Exactly.
The guys were sweating bullets.
Oh, I can imagine.
They were sweating bullets, and they were so obviously so relieved because I have, in my experience, going across the border to do an investigation, they absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's more that way than back, though.
No, when you come over back to Canada, there's did you make any money doing that? They're all worried about money.
Yeah.
No. It was pure nonprofit. No money was. I didn't make any money. It wasn't a job. It's a hobby. Yeah. They're so fucking straight and narrow and serious about shit. It just kills me. Mm-hmm. But when you go over to the States and you talk to the border patrol there, cops, customs, whatever, they're like, oh yeah, like Iron Island Museum in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we've been over there. You were over one time.
I went there once with you. Yeah.
Were you in the same car? No, you were in a different car, right?
I think.
Were you in the same?
I think it was in your car.
You're in the same car.
This is the time when you still had the journey.
Yeah, the journey.
I was with you. I was in your car.
And I think we got we got the border guy that's saying that his dad grew up in the area.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, my dad grew up in that area. I know that place,
Yeah.
you know, and he was like totally into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, we're going down there right now to investigate it.
Maybe we'll
cool.
have a talk with your dad.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun times. Can't wait to be doing that again.
No, I can't wait either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that it?
I guess.
Are we done?
Unless someone wants to call in.
We'll give you 5 minutes to call in. 5 minutes. The number to call, once again, is
1-800-LICK-ME. I mean, sorry. Go ahead. Wrong channel.
We've been banned from YouTube again.
Sorry, that was the wrong channel.
716-406-4472 is the number to call. 5 minutes and then we're done. 716-406-4472. If not, we're done for this evening. And thank you for watching. Total bonus, holiday bonus show here. Only on our YouTube channel. We're not broadcasting, obviously, live on the New Visions Radio Network. We're here Sunday. Sunday, we are going to chat about time slips.
OBEs.
OBEs.
And
astral projection.
Right. And I think we could throw in NDEs as well.
Those two.
Yeah.
So that is this coming Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our regular broadcast date and time. It'll be the first show of 2021.
Officially.
Because
this is a bonus show.
Yeah. You know, why didn't you take a hiatus? You always take a hiatus.
Yeah. This year we did not.
This year's different, right?
Yep. Much like everything else, this year is different.
It's been crazy this year. So, yeah. I don't know if we're getting any calls, dude.
I don't think we are. So, I guess this will be it for tonight.
So, join us this Sunday night.
Yep.
For the first official Nocturnal Frequency Radio show. Happy 2021, guys.
Yes. Don't forget to like.
Thank you. Ron, thank you. All the best to you guys. And please subscribe to the channel here. Like and subscribe. And join us 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday night as we talk about time slips, OBEs, astral projections, and much, much more.
Yes. Tune in.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight for the bonus show. Take care, everyone.
Have a good